Screw the beanie. Welcome everyone. Check out my new setup right here. I did set up a ton of stuff up here, but unfortunately it's out of frame. It actually isn't on my other camera, so we're testing things out right now. We're testing the waters here. So welcome to the pilot episode of the Bread Blunders Podcast. Yes, we got all our topics right here we're going to talk about today. We're going to keep it short and simple for this first episode so that you guys can get introduced and, just used to the content. So, as for what's going on here, this is, in fact, the Bread Blunders Podcast, the first episode, like I said, the pilot, and we are just going to explain why I made this show and why we're starting it. I even got a branded cup. I don't know if you can see it on either camera, but, it says Bread Blunders on it, too. Give me a second to collect my thoughts. Okay, I think I'm good now. How did this show start? Well, on this same channel, on the Wheat Whacker channel, you can see that I made a podcast called the Pit Podcast. Now, that was very not serious. It was just me and a bunch of friends recording our activities, playing in this little musical group called the Pit for our theater, our school's theater. And, I just wanted to document that I was there and what happened, what nefarious activities we were up to. And, so I just wanted to document it in the form of a short podcast, because it's not really a podcast. From what I understand, a podcast is like a big show that's more than 3 minutes long, but I call it a podcast nonetheless because I thought it was funny. So today we're actually going to be doing a real podcast for the first time ever. I've never done this before. As you can tell, I got a proper microphone. I got a proper 4K camera right there and a webcam up there. So, yes, we got a lot going on. I'm going to figure out which one's the best setup. I look really white in the webcam and really dark in the 4K cam. Man, talking this fast is making me lose track of how. So, okay, we're gonna recenter. Stop getting off topic, getting on tangents. So, how did this happen? How did this podcast happen? How did the Bread Blunders come to be? Well, I was thinking in my head, after I created the season 1 finale of the Pit Podcast. Okay, there's some noises getting in through the background. So, yeah. After the season finale, I thought, I could really make something here. I really think I got the talent, the skills, and I just, I pondered on it. I thought about it. I created a list of names, and I also got, tons of, graphic material design work done. So I made a couple of logos. I came up with a couple designs, came up with a couple names, and I was like, after all this work, I was like, this show is actually really possible, so I wasn't going to leave it to chance. I was going to do it. So, got a couple names, wrote them down, and then put them out to my, followers, and I let them vote and see which one they thought was the best. Unfortunately, for those of you that voted Shoe Law Podcast, that was not possible. It did not win the vote, and it wouldn't really make sense as a name, so unfortunately, that is gone. We can bring back the story of Shoe Law though for another day. That's for another day. Okay, back on track. So after I got the name, picked it out, I ended up creating all the graphic designs, came up with the logo, came up with a channel banner, and came up with the, just the rest of the branding. Got the color scheme and everything. Yeah, as you can see, my walls are actually perfect for it because they're that kind of bread color. What do I have in mind for this podcast? Well, like any podcast, I'm going to be inviting guests and maybe a few returning characters that I will have on the show regularly. Like, for example, I have a couple people who just want to be a part of this podcast because they think it's fun, and I've talked to a couple people that have said they would be willing to be on the show when I record. The biggest problem is just planning, getting the times, being flexible, and being open-minded to ideas. So right now, I'm really spitballing. There's no script. There's no nothing. This is all unscripted. I wrote down topics, so look here for what... Oh, hold up. I don't have my marker. I lost my marker. I was going to be crossing stuff out as we talked about it. But so we already talked about the podcast. We already talked about why it happened, because I just wanted to share my thoughts with the world. I wanted to discuss the Wheat Whackers' view on life and that sort of thing. So we've got those two out of the way. Just erase them from your mind. And yeah, we're on the plans and goals. So biggest plan, get a couple episodes out. I'm hopefully, like right now it is Christmas Eve. My goal is to have this out before 2024 or maybe even on Christmas Day. I'm not making any promises, so if you hear this afterward, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't do it. So yeah, we're not being super hard on me for a new show, and yeah, just I'm not. Hold on. Let me relax real quick. Get my water. So yeah, biggest goal for the podcast is to have a steady stream of guests wanting to join and talk. Second goal is to have shows every other week, because that's what's I can hear what they're listening to upstairs. Ignore that. Yes, it is. Like I said, it's Christmas Eve. I got family members over. We were recording this super last minute. So yeah, okay. My goal is to have shows every other week, hopefully, and I don't know if I'm gonna do them in person or digitally. So we might even not be set up like this for the next show. This is just me talking. This is a solo run. I do have someone scheduled to do this in person, and we're going to experiment with them. We're going to figure out how it goes. Now, we're done talking about goals. We're done talking about plans. 1 second. It is getting really loud upstairs. I apologize. So, if you hear loud Mexican music upstairs, just don't acknowledge it. It didn't happen. All right. So, a little bit about me. I'm the Wheat Whacker. I am the creator of this show, and I've just, this is what I do. I like making videos. That's my hobby. I like to talk. I like to yap a lot, so that's why you keep hearing me ramble. And I thought I could use my talents to make something entertainment. Whoa. Okay. I thought I could use my talents and make something entertaining for people to listen to and enjoy. So that's why we're here, and that's why I'm doing this. Furthermore, I am a Kansan. I live in the state of Kansas. I'm not going to dox myself by telling you guys my exact street address in Kansas, but you just need to know that's my state. We are the bread basket. We are the bread winners. We are the best. We are the breadiest nation in the nation, if that makes sense. We love our bread here. We love wheat. We love cows. We love meat. Pause on that last one. You can see on here there's a box for trombone lick. That basically means I'm a trombone player. That is the instrument I learned to play. And, it is the second instrument I've learned to play, actually, because I did used to play the baritone. I don't know why we're just talking about whatever I want here, because this is the about me. I can say whatever I want. So, trombone player, baritone player. I played for a couple years, so I'm not really good. I'm not like a professional, but I am decent. So, I keep saying so. It's a big pet peeve of mine, repeating words that have already been said. Moving on. There we go. Moving on. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I just did it again. Okay, that's going to be new goal to the list. Stop saying so when you're trying to think of a transitional word. We need to come up with better words. I need to get a list of words. I need to get a thesaurus out here. I need to get Wikipedia, Britannica.com on the, right here. So I'm going to have a stack of books right here so that I can avoid using those types of words in the future. All right. Almost did it again. I have to stop myself. Okay, I gotta talk a little bit more about myself. I gotta indulge in my own existence for a little bit. Do you guys hear that? Yeah, I'm really sorry. It really is last minute. I did not want to have to do it right here, but I have to get these thoughts out there. I have to get the video out as soon as possible. So this podcast right here is going to be the roughest one out of the entire series moving forward. That is a Wheat Whacker guarantee, is that we will fix everything moving forward. I never think things through when I say things. I have to really contemplate what I'm going to put on the internet. Ow. Give me a second. I'm already done. This is supposed to be 30 minutes long. Okay. So, we discussed me. We discussed the podcast. Now we got to discuss the process behind it. You know what? Let's just go behind the scenes here. We're going to talk about how stressful it was to make this whole thing possible. So, we got that desk over there. That desk. Pain. I can't even swear yet. I don't know if I can swear yet, because according to YouTube's new guidelines, I could honestly get this whole thing age restricted with just one word. So we're going to be careful. We're going to be careful about my First Amendment rights on YouTube here. So that table, didn't know where to put it, so it's going to be right there all the time. We got this giant Pepsi bottle back here, and we got some more decorations. You'll be able to see that on the 4K camera, I'm pretty sure. And above me, I don't even know if that shows up on the 4K camera, but there's actually LED lights. Maybe I can get like a picture of it and show it on screen. But a lot of this setup took a lot of time, a lot of effort to get working, and it was really stressful getting those LED lights. So let me tell you, that was a literal fire hazard. Check out this cable right here. Where is it? Right here. You know, I didn't think about it, but sticking glue on paint is not good. It kept trying to fall on us. Like, we literally came down today, and the whole LED strip, all the way down, hold on, let me switch hands, all the way down this wall, right here, there's like a light down this hall. It fell completely. We just kind of had to, spend an hour of our lives fixing it. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. I really don't know what I was going with that, but let's talk about the webcam. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go behind the scenes on you guys. If you guys thought this was easy, you think it's easy as like pulling out your phone and just recording, it is not. I'm using a computer for this. I had to set up OBS, and if you've ever had to set up OBS, you know how rough it is. You know how stupid this program is. It actually isn't. It's actually really convenient, but it is a lot of work, especially if you don't follow a tutorial. Do not do what I did. Do not just go in without any experience and try to set this up first try. Okay, it's not worth it. It took me around 3 days to set up OBS, and this was months before I even decided to do this podcast. It just so happened that I could reuse what I did for regular YouTube on there. The webcam itself, fairly expensive, and it doesn't even look that good. It looks really pixely. I haven't mentioned this, but I've actually recorded the same thing 3 times before. People in real life have been asking me when the podcast is gonna release, and I don't know, to be honest, because just with this single pilot, I don't even know if I want to call this the first episode, because just with this, I've had to make this video 4 times now. This is the 4th attempt. So the very first one, I didn't like how it went. I didn't like how I had it set up, and I kind of scrapped it. Second one, I managed to get through an hour of recording by myself, and it wasn't even about like the podcast. It was just me rambling for an hour. And then when I actually went to edit it, I realized, man, this sounds horrible. And there was a lot of stuff I talked about that I didn't even want on the internet to begin with. So I was just like, I'm going to take that and just going to throw it out. No more. And then this third attempt, I tried recording with my, with someone I knew, like in person, side by side. That's why this chair's here, actually, because I was sitting in that chair and my guest was sitting in this chair. And then I was like, again, we rambled. We had no idea what we were doing, and the setup was half done. Like, we didn't have the LED lights in, we didn't have some of the decorations in, and we didn't even have my computer set up to do it. And we ended up you can see this mic right here, right? How I have it unplugged and just. It was originally fixed to my desk, and my guest suggested to just completely unplug it, unscrew it, and just kind of freeform reporter style, have your microphone. It's a great idea, and that's why I'm doing this right now. And before, I was sitting in the chair really close to the camera, just like this. Zoom in on me. This is how I was for the first or the second attempt of recording. This is how I am now, just a little more relaxed, just kind of enjoying myself. Yes. Yeah, it was a struggle. There's a lot of planning that did not go into this, that should have gone into it, and I really regret. So this is completely behind the scenes right now. We are in uncharted territory. I've never discussed the trials and tribulations of running a YouTube channel, or just content creation in general. It sucks. It's horrible. I don't recommend. I'm kidding, by the way. I enjoy what I do. My intentions with this was just for it to be a casual, carefree experience, but now that I think about it, it's going to be really crazy, because if people don't come in person, I don't know how this is going to work. I can probably get by using social media platforms to communicate with my guests if they don't want to do it in person. And then again, it's kind of weird, because then I'd kind of be, trapping them in my house, in my basement, and that is, that isn't a good look. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe we'll do it all online, guys. Okay, this is gonna be just my setup, my area, and you guys can do whatever you want on your side of the screen. All right, we're not going to be face to face. It would be cool, but I don't. We're we're not there yet. We're not that rich. We're not. We do not have sponsors. We do not have lawyers. We cannot. We can. It's just. It's not viable at the moment. Biggest piece of advice I could offer you if you're running a podcast: have a lot of water. I'm not gonna lie. Talking is rough. Talking a lot is rough. I'm already like parched. I'm like, I need water. I'm thirsty. Yeah. Oh, and I haven't even gotten started about the editing process. For you viewers out there who have never edited a video in your life, well, let me tell you. So there's the whole audio side of things. You got to make sure things sound balanced. You can't, if they're really loud, you have to actually adjust that. And I really hurt my ears for that bit because my headphones are plugged in directly into the mic. I hear what I'm saying. I hear how loud I am, and it like reverberates in my ears and it hurts. So I can't be too loud. So stuff like that. Audio balance. That's one big part of the viewing experience. Second part, if I look nice in the camera. Third part, getting dressed, making sure the stuff in your room doesn't look too ridiculous. Like right now. It looks like a backrooms level right here. I promise I'll get like a plant in here or something in the corner. Maybe I can get like I don't know, just something in the background to fill it in. And then I guess, oh, and of course, the other added effects. The intro you gotta make. The outro you gotta make. The music you gotta pick. I don't even know if I'm including music, to be honest. And the fourth thing, it's just that, like, the cutting up, the splicing, the cropping, all that stuff. All those fancy terms basically make the image as large as you want, as small as you want. What parts of the footage you want and what parts of the footage you just want to get rid of, that kind of thing. It's a big process. It's a lot of work, and another thing, if you're gonna be making content, you better get used to hearing your own voice, because if you can't stand your voice in a recording, well, sucks to suck, man. That's how you sound like. Luckily I've been making content for around about 4 years now, so I'm basically like, I know exactly how I sound, and I know that I sound horrible. Or actually, no, that's a lie. So I'm more comfortable with talking than I was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, no mic audio, no audio to speak of in my videos. There was no music, no game audio, and no actual audio from me, like no talking, no commentary. And now it's only me in a room by myself talking to a camera. How things have changed. Let's get off a less depressing topic. Okay, I don't want to talk about video editing all day for this introduction. I just want to talk about podcast topics. I just want this to sound nice and casual for the viewers. I love you guys, even though you guys don't even know who I am yet, because this is the first episode. If I had a marker, I'm just gonna check that off, check that off, check that off, check that off, and check that off. All of those have been talked about. So this is actually uncharted territory. With all that in mind, you guys basically know the background to this, podcast. I was just like, I make videos. I should totally just blah 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 this and that. Let's just make a show. It's featuring the Wheat Whacker because Wheat Whacker's funny. Speaking of which, the name Wheat Whacker actually came up at the lunch table. It was really just us I was coming up with insults for Kansans, since I'm a Kansan myself, and I thought, how can we insult a Kansan? What's like an offensive way to call a Kansan? And I was just like, Wheat Whacker, because we're the bread basket, and I thought it was funny. Anyways, that's the context behind the name, so if you're wondering, there's the answer. I really just, so basically I'm just being offensive to my own people, my own state. No offense to Kansas itself, but people really just think we're a giant farm. So yeah, Great Plains, more like Great Farms. That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. Let's talk about this right here. Oh yeah, my giant Pepsi. I love my giant Pepsi. This came from an actual school event. They were selling stuff at the school, the markets. They're having like a market day, some type like that. And I saw the Pepsi, and I could not leave it behind. Didn't matter how much. This thing could be $30, and I would still take it. I'm not even gonna lie. This was my. Man, my brain isn't. The words just aren't going. Okay, this was this was a financially wise decision I made right here. I bought this Diet Pepsi, and I don't regret a single thing. I don't regret the $8 that I spent. Oh crap! Oh my goodness. Alright, Pepsi's back. As you can see, I'm already out of topics to talk about. Should I get deep? Should I get emotional? Should I start talking like this? Extra ASMR like. No, we're not, okay? We're not that type of channel. This is very chaotic. I'm actually going to reference what I talked about in my second attempt at making this podcast, which was how this whole guest thing's going to work. So like I mentioned earlier, I don't think it's a wise decision to have people in my house just because it's a lot of planning that most likely is not going to work for most people. So I think we're going to have to do this digitally. Hopefully not through Zoom. Please not through Zoom. But I'm open to using multiple social media platforms to get this done. If you're my goal is just to have people contact me through an email or something like that, or some social media that I put in the description. Otherwise, probably YouTube comments. Just put like a little bit about yourself, maybe a couple things you're interested in, what you want me to talk about. It could either be for me personally to talk about, or just you want to come on and talk about. That's type of thing. That's how this guest thing is gonna work. Right now, I have it open to friends. So like friends in real life. We could do interviews. We could do discussions on paranormal activities, conspiracy theories, stuff like that. And whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about world domination, or just like frying eggs outside in the heat at like 400 degrees, or like government inflation, politics. Avoid politics, but if you want to talk about politics, we can. I'm not against it. Or controversial topics. Again, not recommended, but I'm open to it. And I'm gonna get copyrighted for this, aren't I? Yeah. Again, I don't know. I know the people who know me know I don't live alone. But if you're like watching me for the first time, unfortunately, I do not live alone. I have a family. There are people who live here. And if you keep hearing, okay, I'm gonna get real close here. So if you hear any noises or any background noise, I apologize. There's nothing I can do. I do not have the money right now to afford soundproofing. So we're just working with what we got. If you must know, I'm running this operation all by myself. I don't have any staff members because I'm poor. I can't afford to pay people to be my cameraman, my audio engineer, or my editor. That is all being done by me. And we're running on a shoestring budget. And no, I don't expect you guys to pay me. I don't expect you guys to feel bad for me, because this is all new. I've never done a podcast. I don't know anybody that's done it. Actually, no, that's not true. I did actually know someone who did run a podcast at our school, but they've only made one episode, and it's audio only. I am the only person I know who's tried to do a kind of sit-down style, talk in front of a camera, and just let your thoughts go type thing. Like right now, at the beginning of this, complete rambles. Now my thoughts are more streamlined. We're getting there, guys, okay? Bear with me. This is the first episode. I'm allowed a couple hiccups. We're on strike 2, probably. Strike 2, okay? So yes, this is all, just let the thoughts flow. This helps me get my talking down. It's basically like public speaking. Because while I can't see the audience, I know the audience is there. And I know they want to hear a reasonably intelligent person speaking to them about daily activities. And this isn't on the board, but I know all of you are probably young adults who are still either either still in high school or in college. Either way, it doesn't matter because we all experience finals week. How was your finals week? I wonder. This isn't on the board of topics, but I felt it was good to mention because this podcast would have come out sooner if it weren't for finals week and how it absolutely destroyed my mind. I was not ready for finals week, okay? Like, I know finals week is usually hard. It's to be expected. But to the extent that it was this year, I was not ready for it. Completely ruined my plans for the next month. Like, this project, I think, started in the middle of November. Like, the initial designs for the logos and stuff like that. It was in the middle of November. It was shortly after the Pit podcast finished. So it was after that season finale when I was like, I should make a podcast. And so, had everything ready for the end of November, start of December. Then stuff started getting crazy. I was getting hit with assignment after assignment, essay after essay, paper after paper. 3 pages got to be written, 3 paragraphs, Times New Roman, 12-point MLA, everything. You know the gist. It's a struggle out here, academically speaking. As a straight A student myself, I gotta be the best. And if it weren't for high standards, maybe this podcast would have been done in January of 2023, not 2024. Okay. All I'm saying is that I had to lock in for this whole month, academically speaking, and was unable to work on any projects, even my other side projects, my other YouTube projects besides this podcast. I was unable to get anything done. It was either because I was too busy or lack of motivation. And I'm not even mentioning work because work was crazy too. I had a lot of stuff to do at work. I'm a little upset at finals because I don't know why, but every single class that I had, all the teachers just simultaneously decided, you know what, how about we give an essay for the last one? And I'm not even going to lie, Grammarly carried. I know people were out here using ChatGPT, but I ain't risking it. I'm writing from my own mind with the help of Grammarly.com. So shout out to Grammarly. That's I'm giving you a freebie because honestly, you saved my you came in clutch for my grades. I was low-key barely holding on to an A in my English class, and because of Grammarly, I made it out alive. So, yeah, I'm not getting I'm not getting paid to promote them. It's just they've come in really handy. And so yeah, I know people were out here struggling with finals. I know some people were just like, as long as I'm passing, bro, I'm chilling. As long as I'm passing. Where it wasn't locked in for the entire year, but just locks in for the final assignment. I know people out here with D's and are like, that's good enough for me, man, because D at our school is passing. I don't get the American grading system at all. At different schools, it's always varying, like what's passing and what's not. Apparently, our school's D is passing. I don't know when that changed. I thought it was a C. For the longest time, I thought it was a C, but apparently you can get away with having a D. So yeah, a little bit about our school system. So yeah, finals. It was a struggle. I briefly touched it at the beginning of the podcast, but yes, I'm recording this on Christmas Eve. So if you're wondering why it's like super loud and background noise, that's why. Also, I wanted to get this out on Christmas Eve. That's how overconfident I was when I started this. And if I pull an all-nighter, maybe this can be posted Christmas Day. But my plan is just to have it done before New Year's. Actually, or I could wait till 20. No, because I want this to be a 2023 thing, and then my 2024 is where I start this podcast, or start making the videos, Okay, just understand. My goal is to have this podcast out before 2024, before New Year's. So, if you're watching this in the future, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and you enjoyed your Christmas. You opened your presents and was filled with nothing but happiness during those 2 days. And I also hope that this is posted before 2024 happens. And even if it's after 2024 or after New Year's, I still hope that you're doing great, and I hope you're having a great day and you're living life in the moment, or however they tell you to live it. Just live your life the way you want to live it, as long as that doesn't negatively as long as that doesn't negatively affect you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I want everyone and my viewers to know that, like, every one of you guys, I want every one of you guys listening to just be happy. Like, live life. Do not let the negative thoughts win. Do not let the intrusive thoughts win. Okay, I don't want any of you guys feeling down this Christmas, because it is Christmas season. It is the season to be joyful. It is the season to be merry. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, I guess enjoy 2024. I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to end this podcast. It's we're now at the threshold. We're at the 30-minute timer I set for myself. I'm gonna get my trombone out. We're gonna end it right now. This is a lot of blabbering. If you have any comments, any suggestions about what I should talk about next, leave them in the comments down below. Subscribe and keep notifications on so you know when I'm posting again. And have a great day. Have a great life. I'm watching. Actually, you know what? For this episode, if you've gotten this far, if you listen this far, roast the heck out of me in the comments. Let me know what I need to fix now so that I don't have to fix it later. Okay? I know I rambled a lot. I know I yapped a lot. This is the rough first episode. Every podcast has a really bad first episode. So don't hold it against me too hard, but please let me know what I can fix and what I can change. I really talked mostly about the podcast today. I want to actually start talking about just regular run-of-the-mill life stuff, daily life activities and stuff like that. And I got a little bit of that in this podcast today when I was talking about myself, but in truth, I want to just keep this casual, keep this like a conversation between me and the audience. That's my goal. That's another goal. Add to the list. Add to the list of goals, and maybe I'll put more stuff up here. So I'll write down your suggestions on this board right here. Okay, so write them in the comments. If you want to be a guest, like I said before, comment down below with some information on how to contact you and what you want to talk about and a little bit about yourself. And stay tuned for future episodes. We're gonna move on to the trombone lick right now. Check this out. I stole this from school. It's become dead silent in my house. This is we're going completely wild here. Oh my goodness, I just broke that. Okay. Anyways, we're actually gonna do this real quick. By the way, these are Bose headphones, so they're kind of noise canceling. I can't hear anything besides what the mic picks up. So if there's someone outside my door right now, prepare to have your ears absolutely destroyed. Check out how beat up this trombone is. I should really just buy one for, you know what? Future goal for, like, if this podcast does become successful, if we raise enough money, I can buy myself my own trombone. That is a long-term goal. Okay. Oh my goodness, if this is really out of tune, I apologize, but give me another attempt. I can't hit it today. And unfortunately, the 4K camera lost connection as soon as we got to this point. Dang it, man. Dang it. That's really a shame. But that was the lick. That was the trombone lick. Maybe you know what? One more lick. By the way, I haven't played trombone in like a week and a half now, so I honestly don't know how I'm supposed to sound. If I sound garbage, makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how this fits in the Wheat Whacker theme, but I can play an instrument. I can't. Okay. we're just gonna end it there. Okay, I'm sorry for that. That bit wasn't supposed to last that long, but actually, you know what? Post some like bugle calls if you can find any bugle calls, and find the names of them. I will learn them and play them on the podcast. Okay, so that's another thing to put in the comments. All right, if you want me to play something, put it in the comments and I'll learn to play it. Okay, just for you guys, because I love you. No, I don't. I do. I love you a lot. This is getting a little too personal now. Putting this away. We're not gonna touch it for the rest of winter break. Okay, guys. I know there's other players out there. I know who you are. Yeah, I know who you are. I know you're not practicing over winter break. I know you took your instrument home and that you're just not gonna practice. You're not gonna touch your instrument ever again. I just use this podcast as an excuse to play. Yes, I'm looking at you right now. The 4K camera died, so I'm going next to you guys now. This is a personal assault on you guys. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Tell me that you're practicing your instrument right now. If you're not practicing your instrument right now, go pick it up and go practice right now. This is your sign to go play your instrument. Okay, practice for like 3 hours. Okay, for me. Mwah. All right. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year. 2024. I've heard nothing but bad things about it, so we got to stay hopeful out here. Who knows what's happening? There's a lot of conflict in the world right now, and I'm just focusing on myself and the great state of Kansas. This is the Wheat Whacker signing off for the pilot episode of Bread Blunders Podcast. Good night, good evening, good morning. I don't know when you're watching this. Stay tuned for more content. Goodbye.